Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of You and I Builder Live, the show where sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Today, we are joined by two awesome guests. But first, my name is Maria Gabriela Ochoa Perez Wechter. I am an outbound product manager with the experiences team over at ServiceNow. And today, one of my two special guests is going to introduce themselves. Go for it, Ailey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ailey Anderson. I am a developer at Yonsa Labs, and I'm here for all of the UI Builder stuff.
Yay, UI Builder stuff. No, that intro was rough, but the reason why, let's introduce our second guest today. You guys hear that thumping noise in the background? That is a bird that will keep hitting its head against Ailey's window. So we have a little bird counter going on in the bottom there. So if you see us kind of distracted, kind of off our game, it's because we just keep hearing the thumping. Hopefully it's not too much for you guys.
I can't stop laughing. Every time it hits, it just like throws off my groove.
Why does it do that? Any idea?
I have no idea. And I tried like closing the curtains so that it can like see in, and it's still like every few seconds flies right into the window.
I don't. Well, anyway, so if this was live coding happy hour, we could like do shots or take a drink anytime it hits, and we would be destroyed by halfway through. But it's a Thursday. It's still 4 p.m., not 5 p.m. yet on the East Coast. So, Ailey, what are we doing today?
Today, we are improving another bird hit from a different window. Sorry, I'm distracted. Today we are improving the Wish Hub application to include viewports to kind of show how we can communicate like to and from a page and a viewport on a page. So that's the plan for today.
Awesome. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and share my little slides here. You guys may have heard about this last week. But next month, we're not going to have any You and I Builder live shows on our usual second and fourth Thursday of the month. Instead, we're taking a month-long break because of Knowledge. If you're not familiar with it, Knowledge is the yearly big convention that ServiceNow hosts. It is a blast and a half. If you ever have a chance to go, I would strongly recommend it. Ailey, do you have any particularly fun memories about Knowledge?
Last year was my first year, and honestly, like the whole thing was super fun. I loved like the hackathon was definitely a highlight, and just all the sessions and like meeting people in person that you see like always on a screen was really cool.
Yes, it really makes it feel like the community is a bit closer than it really is. These sessions on this side are some sessions that my team is doing that if you have a chance to make it to, you should totally try to make it to. If any of these sessions are full, you can queue up in front of the room in about 5 minutes before the session will start. They'll start letting people do walk-in in order to fill in the seats if there's any seats open. The first one is our live You and I Builder Live. It's going to be this show, but live. And it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a bunch of fun. The next one is Build a Killer Single Page App with UI Builder. It's going to be building a killer single page app. if you remember the notes application we've been working on UNI Builder Live, that's the one that's going to be focused around. We've also got 2 workspace related labs. And then I've got my advanced theming mastery lab, which will kind of take you from theme builder to custom theming and everything in between. We've also got some Ask the Experts. More and more of these keep getting scheduled, so check the agenda again and make sure, in case you missed being able to join one of them. But it's basically going to be like 20 people and a PM in a room, and you can ask questions. It's going to be great. I had a lot of fun at my Ask the Experts last year, and then we have some community sessions that I wanted to highlight, and or sessions from people outside of our team. The You Sunk My Mothership Creating Complex Interactivity in the Next Experience session is going to be amazing. I am super excited. A good friend of mine, Travis Tolson, has made the game Battleship inside of Next Experience, inside of a UI Builder, and it's going to be fantastic. Then we have 2 new sessions on a new design system that we're debuting at Knowledge. I can't say very much about it just yet, but after Knowledge, you're certain that I'm going to talk about it a whole bunch. I'm very excited. Ailey, do you have any presentations at Knowledge?
I sure do. I'm doing a session that's kind of like a Harry Potter parody, showcasing custom configurable workspaces with UI Builder and kind of showing like the power of them and how you can make them do whatever you want for your company. So that's my session. It's going to be a party. If anyone wants
that
to
sounds amazing. Do you want to try to dig up the number real quick so we can put it in the chat?
Yes, I do want to do that.
Other than this, we have a whole bunch of meetups that you should look up on the agenda builder. And to any ladies out there, on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., we're having the yearly Women Now breakfast. It's going to be in front of the Chipotle on the 2nd floor of the Venetian food court. We're going to have pastries. We're going to have drinks. It's going to be an awesome networking time. Ailey, have I bought you enough time?
You did. Plus, Earl threw it in the chat, so that was nice. And I put the session number 2. It's
Thank you.
1089.
CCB 1089. Thank you so much, Ailey. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Let me see if there's anything else I got to plug. I already said we're not going to be here in May. Our next UNI Builder live session is going to be on June 13th. And I think we have some, I realized that we never celebrated our 1-year anniversary on UNI Builder Live.
Well, a tragedy.
I know. So I think we're going to try to do like a 1-year special in June, and we'll see where we go from there. Ailey, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Let's go then. Now, I think there was something you wanted to share with us first, right?
Yes. Let me switch to my notes on it. Okay. So let me pull open.
Oh man, I forgot. I was testing a question that we got on SNDev Slack about theming, and I set that awful lime green theme, and I totally forgot to remove it. Let me fix that real quick because that looks disastrous.
You know, I was wondering what the thought process was there. Okay, where's my little search?
Oh, and one last thing. If you aren't able to make it to Knowledge, all of my team's labs will be made available after Knowledge on a separate site that I'll let you guys know about at a later time. It's not live yet. Donk.
Okay, so I think it's this one.
Do you want me to give a little background for what we're doing, or are you gonna do that when you can show it?
I'm gonna do it right as soon as I get the page pulled up. I mean, you can give the background. That's all good. Oh, that's a big picture of me. That's
and I'm so sorry for my naming conventions. They are great.
I'm trying to figure out which live variant we're talking about. Okay, this is it. So if I open this page, okay, so this is our portal that we've been working on. And when we refresh this page, sometimes I don't know if it'll reproduce it since we're, live and everything.
Live.
But sometimes when you refresh, oh, it did. It worked. Okay, well, it broke. It just gives you like this blank screen. And like the only way to get around it is to refresh it. And it's super annoying. And it happens like all the time on this application. And I ran into this for like a client project I was doing too. And it was like a big deal because they didn't want to send it off to like their customers if it didn't load half the time. So
this is happening because we're using the Portal app shell.
Yes. It only happens on the Portal app shell, and it only is in experiences where it was created like before Vancouver. So since this Wish Hub app has been around since Utah, I think, then it has the issue. So any Portal experience created, like, I can't remember if it's Washington or Vancouver, but a couple releases ago is going to have this issue for like the rest of its lifespan. So I just wanted to fix it because it's kind of annoying to work with.
So Ailey's going to show us how to fix it, which is fantastic. I haven't had a chance nor the time to figure this out. And we've been dealing with this with the Wish Hub app since day one. So I am super excited. We also have a KB that we're going to end up linking in the description of this video. So Ailey, what do we do to fix it?
Okay, so we are going to go to the settings for that page, and we'll click on not the variant itself, but the actual page settings. And then we can go to open records, and then I think it's the app config. We will see if this is correct. That is not correct. Okay, I'm just going to go straight to so the table that we're looking for, if we just open up, it's this UX page registry. And there's a way to get to it from UI Builder. I just can't remember what it is. But that brings up all of our UI Builder experiences. So if we open up the one that we were working on, which is this Wish Hub application, there's this field down here called parent app, and it's missing a value. And that is what causes the refresh issue. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes to do that, but if this is blank, then that refresh blank page issue will happen. So you just have to put a value in. I think the one that's like out of the box is this UXR base unified app, parent app. So this is set automatically when you create a new experience on later releases. That's why it works like in Washington, D.C. But it was not being set automatically in older releases. So this value is just like not there unless you go in and set it manually. So
nice.
We'll add that and save it. And if this is in like a custom app, you can always make a copy of this parent app and use that instead in your app scope. But we'll just use the global one for right now. So now if we come back here, it should load it. And there it is.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I guess kind of what I was thinking for loading viewports, or for using viewports with this fancy little portal experience we have. Last time we built out like the My Wishlist page or tab and the Friend Wishlist tab. And I was thinking it would be kind of cool if I clicked on one of these wish lists, if it would open up their wish list over to the side. Right. And there are lots of ways to do this. Like you could just have things shown and hidden conditionally based off of what you click. But a viewport's a good way to handle this, just to separate functionality too. So I think we'll go that route to show kind of how you can use viewports.
Sounds good. I love how Earl has given up on cataloging the Bird Saga.
I know. I'm just grateful that I've like moved past the point where I acknowledge it now. It's just in the background.
That is just so funny to me.
Me too. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we kind of need to create two columns, one that can have the different lists in it and one that can have the list details, I guess, the list of items. So let's go to our tabs and we're going to just not worry about my wish list right now. We're going to go to friends wish lists. Okay, so this is where we can use the new layout options, right? To create two columns. Yeah, look at this. Okay, to be honest, I haven't used the layouts much, so this is going to be a good learning experience for me.
I keep trying to type component. I mean, container. Whoops.
I know. I mean, I am a fan of my containers. Not gonna lie, but we'll try a column for today. So I think I can just drag this container into this column. Boom. And now all of our, I don't know why this says let's work for it. I think that's hidden. Yes. Okay, so we've moved the lists into the left side of the column, and then these can be resized with the little drag drop thing, which is really cool. So we'll do it. We'll do like, let's say 35 and 65. That sounds, oh, that's going to bug me. But it's going to stay. Okay. And then we also need to make these containers. Let's go back to this. Right now, you can't like click on these. So we need to make it so that we can click on them. Gabby, in your opinion, what is the best way to make something clickable? Like, what component do you like for making things clickable?
See, I have a bias for the card component solely because that's usually what I like to make clickable. But don't you have some solution for that yourself?
You know, I do. In Share, I don't want to go through the time to like load it in.
Okay.
Here,
so,
but yes, I do have one that's just kind of like a generic wrapper that fires a click event so that you can just wrap it around anything, which is kind of nice. But
so how do you prefer?
I don't really have a preference. That's why I asked, because I mean, obviously, like I wouldn't make my own because it was, yeah. That sounds good.
I think it's card-based container.
Oh, yep. I just skimmed right over that.
And that should have the click.
Yes. So if we go to events, yes, card.
Awesome.
Click. So we will use that. And we can just keep all of our container stuff in there for now, I think. Well, yeah, okay. So let's add a card clicked. And for now, let's just, I don't know, let's create a client state parameter to store which card we've clicked. So client.
Such a nice new UI.
I know, I'm a fan. Oh, we already have one. Look at that. Selected wish list. So I think we can just use that. So on the card click, we will update client state parameter to wish list. Go ahead.
Could us using that cause issues somewhere else because these are tabs on the same page? If that's already populated with something, for example, from a previous use of it?
It's possible, especially where we kind of revamped this page. I think we just didn't delete anything that was there previously. So that's a good point. We should probably just create our own. If it'll load. There we go. Client state. Oh man, it's wigging out.
That was so weird.
Okay, well, hopefully I didn't break anything. Oh, there it goes. I'm just going to refresh. Well, I didn't save. Yeah, we'll still just refresh. We didn't make that many changes.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Okay, let's try this again. So we have this container in the friends wish list. We threw it in 2-column layout. So we'll go to the layouts tab, 2 columns.
So while Ailey gets us back to where we were before, hitting save this time, anybody have any fun CreatorCon memories in there that they want to share in the chat? And for those of us who may not be familiar, CreatorCon is kind of like the developer convention inside of Knowledge. I love CreatorCon. It is a ton of fun. Typically, they have print farms, a whole bunch of awesome. Oh, Seema, that'd be really funny. Could we build Earl's counter into the Wish Hub? That would be very funny. Yes, Hackathon is a great fun time in at CreatorCon. Just do it. So I have this thing whenever people ask me anything about job hunting or should I apply to jobs, I'm always like, just do it. And it's a reference to one of the greatest philosophers of our time, Shia LaBeouf. He's really funny. And he just made this whole video that you should look up. Just do it. So for my very first CreatorCon presentation, I ended it with me basically reenacting that video, and it was really funny. So great question. Confused between CreatorCon and Hackathon? CreatorCon, the Hackathon is a part of CreatorCon. CreatorCon is the overall developer-centric side of Knowledge, and the Hackathon is one of the events that occur within CreatorCon. The Hackathon is a kind of like a contest where teams get together, build an application according to certain criteria, and basically spend like overnight, I don't know, maybe 24 hours or something on an app. You know, it would be great at explaining what Hackathon is. No, he's okay. He doesn't want to come on. I'm sure he'll correct me. Here he is. Earl runs the Hackathon. If you have any questions, message him on LinkedIn. It's not your show, sure, but you're a producer / intern. It'll be funny. Did I buy you enough time, Ailey?
You sure did. I think I'm
Perfect.
good.
What are we doing now?
Okay, so now we are adding the event handler or event mapping to update our new client state parameter when a card is clicked. So yeah, so we will update. Actually, let's change it to selected because I think it has both. It has card clicked and card selected, but selected means it'll like maintain its selected state. So let's use that instead.
Oh, let's do that one. Yeah.
So I have this selected friend list now. And then we've got this nice modeless dialog to help us pick what we want. So I think our repeater has each of the unique wish lists. So if we go in our repeater and look at the value, we probably want to save just the sys ID of the list that we're grabbing. And I love that it shows the value on there. That is so nice.
It's so nice.
Oh, and then I got to click the up arrow. I always forget that part. And apply.
Me too.
And we'll add that. And then one gotcha with the card, I think, is that there's this interaction config property. And I don't think it will let you click or select on it unless you choose which interaction type you want. So we'll go with select.
No. What does selected mean? Click on the little eye.
Oh, like what it means?
Oh.
So this shows like if that card is selected in the list.
Okay, so you should also set this.
Yes, yep. Except I lost my... Okay, so we'll do the data binding again. And this time we'll say if the client state selected friend list. Oh, let's try formulas because we want to see if we want it to be selected if our client state parameter is the same as the item we're on in our repeater, right? So let's try the equal.
Oh.
Left.
I think you're able to, yeah, go back.
Okay, so if our selected friend list in the left, oh, that's so cool.
That is so cool.
Is equal to the current sys ID in the repeater that we're on. We'll apply that. Nice, look at that. Okay, and then we'll save it. So let's just make sure that we can select things. Let's come back here, refresh. It doesn't show us a blank page.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, so these are inside of cards now. Gabby's birthday selected, Paige's birthday, back and forth. Nice. That looks good. Okay, so let's slap a viewport on it now. Okay, so we want to come to this other column in our layout, and it's nice and empty right now. So let's go to, whoops. Viewport. There's this nice viewport component. Okay. So there's kind of two different concepts here. There are page collections and there's viewports. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the page collections are more like reusable sections of a page kind of that you can like put in lots of different places. Like if you wanted a contextual side panel on a record, you could add a page collection for it, and then you could put it on like all your record variants.
That's right to me.
Or is only like a one-time use sort of thing.
That sounds like a good way to describe it.
I'm sure there's other differences too. Like I think viewports, you can have properties passed down from parent to child, whereas page collections use more like URL params and stuff. But for this one, we're just going to go with like more of a classic viewport. So we'll click this replace with viewport button. Okay, and then we will edit the content. All right, so a viewport lets you have a sub page. That's kind of a synonym, I guess, for it. So we'll create a new page and we'll call it friend list. And I don't think we need any parameters right now. So we'll say it looks good. And create. And we'll open the editor. And then let's just throw Brad's favorite component on there just to make sure that it's working.
Why don't we throw in the name of the returned list to make sure it's showing the same?
We will do that.
You just want to make sure the viewport works first?
Yeah, because there's some steps that we have to go through to get to that point. So we'll kind of walk through those so that we hopefully don't lose people in that process.
Did we already set up?
And that's okay. So that's what I'm, yes.
There it is.
Yeah. So viewports, you can't just put the component on the page and then have it work, which is kind of intuitively like what you would want to have happen. But you have to actually tie the parent page to the viewport. Otherwise you'll get this error that says no content available, which is totally what what you were just getting at, I think. So the way that we do this, I'm going to open this in a new tab so that we don't have to go back and forth every time. Okay, so on our parent page, is there a specific spot you like to put it? I always just put it on the body, but I don't know if there's like a better place to put it.
I think the body's fine. No opinion here.
So I usually slap it on the page ready event mapping for the body of the parent page. So if we click page ready, there's this page level event handler for viewport load requested. So we have to use that. And then there's some configuration that we have to do in order to tell it like which viewport to load, like or which page. So we need the viewport element ID and we need the route. So we can get that by, let's grab the viewport element ID. So if we come to our viewport, this ID right here, that's the element ID. So ours is just a viewport _1. And it won't like change it.
Oh, interesting.
And then our route was just the route that we put for our page, which was friend list. And we don't need to set the fields or params for this one because it's a pretty simple example. We'll save that. And then if we come back and refresh, hopefully we should be able to see that stylized text that we put on there. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so that's good. But let's replace this with the selected list as you were mentioning earlier. So with viewports, the way that you pass data from the parent page to the child page is through the page properties. So if we go to body and we go to configure, then on the properties, we can add our own that are inherited from the parent page. So we'll add a new property here and we'll call it friend list ID. And we will add it. So it adds it to this list over here that you can remove later. We're going to save it. And then one thing that kind of tripped me up at first with these page properties in viewports is that the data binding in them is tied to the parent page, not this page. So like if you have client state parameters on the viewport and you do like the @state, it'll pull it from the parent page, which is how you pull stuff in, except maybe it doesn't work with state. It grabbed the data resources from the parent page.
Do we want to try just manually coding it?
Yeah, we can try.
Sorry, I meant if you should be able to click into the top square.
Oh,
there you go.
Got a double click.
And it should let you do the @ Yeah. It might be a display issue with the new visual data binding. So let's see if this works.
And it very well could be since it's inherited like from the parent page. Let me make sure let's see, selected friend list. Is that what we called it? Client state parameters. Yes, that is what we call them. Okay, so let's refresh and see if that does the trick.
Did we hit save?
I think so. Yes.
What about on the other page? Oh, we
Yes.
did.
Uh-oh. It's not switching. So let's come back.
Wait, did we set the text at all, though? Yeah, we didn't.
Oh, you're right. Silly me. Okay. Yes, we actually have to bind to the stylized text. So we pass the property in.
We go to properties.
Yep. And friend list ID, which it's saying it's not set right now, but that's because we had to manually do the data binding. Okay, let's try this again. Cross your fingers. Okay, so right now it's blank. Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Phew, I didn't know what I would do if it didn't work.
And just a reminder, if you also want the visual data binding feature in Washington, you have to update UI Builder from the store. It is now a store app. So if you upgrade to Washington and wonder why visual data binding isn't there, that's why.
Okay, so now I think we should load the friend list, like their items, instead of just this ID. So if we come down to our data resources, we have inherited data resources, which are from the parent page. And we have local data resources. So since we're using, well, I mean, you could do this anyways, but we're going to add a data resource that grabs the wish list items for that specific list that we've selected. So that bird. Look up.
Is it multiple birds or is it just two birds?
There's two. It's mostly just one. I've got two windows, one to my right and one in front of me. And they've definitely hit both windows.
Next time we got to get a bird cam going.
That would be funny. Okay, look up, friend list items. And the table is...
I don't even remember anymore. Wish?
I don't either.
Item. There we go.
Oh, that just hit window to window. So there are two birds, unless it's just going around super quick. Okay, so let's see. We want the wish list is... So now we've got our page properties, props, friend list ID. So items where the list is our friend list ID. We'll apply it. Let's see what fields we want. Let's just like put a bunch on there. So we've got our dibbed by, image. Quantity. Okay, and we'll order it by the name probably. Sounds good. Okay. Do I have to click like add somewhere? Is it just not scrolling?
You just close it.
Okay.
So now in Washington, it's displaying in a modal-less window that you can move around the screen and resize. It's really nice. But yeah, it is kind of confusing. It does feel like there needs to be like an apply or save button there, doesn't it?
Yeah, just because it was there all the time before. So it's, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the change, but it takes some adjusting.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll keep, oh wait, no, we need to add a repeater to kind of go through each of our elements or wish list items. Could probably delete this guy now. I know it's a little late to be saying this, but let me know if I need to like turn my mic up or down at all.
No, you're good. I think we've lost the people we were going to lose to the birds. So everybody left is just troopers.
I love it. Way to hang in there. Okay, so we're looping through our friend list items. Oh, results. Not the...
My 3D printer is making the most concerning noises, and I'm shocked you guys can't hear it.
You know, right before you said that, I did hear this like beeping. Is that what that was?
I don't know what it's doing.
Okay, so now we're going to just throw stylized text on there that has the name of the item, and then we'll save and just make sure that it's working still.
Next April Fool's episode, I should have Brad on the show, and I will plan the show to be an exploration of every other text field in UI Builder that could be used instead of stylized text.
You just aggressively start using like the heading or the rich text.
Yes.
Okay, so nothing is coming through. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So wait, do we know if it's the thing not coming through or if it's that the viewport isn't displaying?
I'm pretty sure the viewport's displaying, but we could put our stylized text back on there that was working.
Maybe let's change the background of the body to a different color.
Sure. How about to that same green header color? Just kidding.
You're the best / worst.
I mean, I guess we do have our theme colors, so...
You shouldn't have it anymore because I fixed the theme.
You fixed it? Okay. We're going to do my favorite color since I'm in charge.
Go for it.
There we go. I'm going to refresh this just for my own sanity. There we go. Much better.
Jinx.
Okay, let's try this again. Well, let me make sure I saved. Yes, it did. Man, isn't it so nice to not have to refresh multiple times?
It is so nice.
Oh, you were right. No. Oh, where'd it go? Unless it was just loading still. Okay, I'm still going to put the stylized text on there just because sometimes it'll have a height of 0 if there's like nothing in it, which will make the background.
Sure.
Just for kicks and giggles.
And then we have to do...
Look at that. Not doing stylized text, just for you. We'll just leave the generic message for now.
Do we need to click on something in order for that viewport to display? Because we're having it set to visible only when... Oh, no, that's display regardless.
Yeah, it should show up. Okay, so that was it. I mean, that's why it wasn't blue, is because it didn't have anything in it. So our repeater or something is just wrong. So let's look at this. We are looping through friend list items. There are 10 results. And then in our stylized text, we're showing the value of the repeater. That seems like it's right.
Go back to the data binding again, because it works here.
Yeah.
Why does it work? Oh, because we're doing a data resource. Are we saying when the data resource should be loaded?
Let me check.
Do we care about that?
It should change because the conditions are dynamic. It should change whenever they click on a new thing.
You're right. Maybe we just put a event to trigger a pop-up message when it succeeds or when it fails, so we know when it's running, just in case.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite troubleshooting mechanisms.
So I know Brad always likes to create a client script to do the log statements. I, just to show kind of a different way to debug, I do the update client state parameter and I switch it to script form because then it doesn't add an application record behind the scenes.
Oh, cool.
Even if you delete them, they don't get actually deleted, I think, on the client state parameter. Just the connection gets deleted. Not the client state parameter, sorry, the client script. So if you do an event handler, then it will get deleted properly.
Neat.
Console.log. And then we'll do API.data. Friend list items. Well, actually, let's just start here for now. And then we'll do another console log. Okay, and then you said do one on failed too? So we know either way.
Initiated. Sounds good.
Okay, let's save and refresh. Earl, Yaley is not better than Brad. Yaley is just different than Brad.
Oh, it loaded items. But do we need to trigger a refresh on the viewport? Oh, wait, there's no items.
Didn't need to. Yeah, the items is coming back empty. So it is successful. It is running. And both of them should have items. Or do you have quick access to check and see if they both have wish list items?
Check.
That would be a fun
know.
As if they just didn't.
No, I know mine for sure should have some. But are we using the right field then? No, because it is returning items there. We are using the wish list T.
I'm going to put the stylized text back on there just to make sure it's...
Oh. Are we... How are we... No, the data resource is returning items because we're tying it by the wish list itself, not by the wish list T. So I didn't know what we were doing. But if our data resource is working, that should be fine.
If it's pulling back the right items, but it's saying it's pulling back nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Properties, friend list ID. Slap that on there. Oh, but you bring up an interesting point, is that this should run every single time one of these is clicked, and it's only running
Yes. So are we refreshing the viewport once it gets clicked? I don't know.
Probably not. Okay. Or we're not refreshing. Like we might need to. Okay, so. Where'd our card go? Here's our card. Select hard shadow, update client state. Okay, so let's put on here. Another thing that we could do that might be better because then we don't have to change it in as many places is on the body. Isn't there an event to like take care of if something changed? Yeah, page property changed. So if a page property, so that way if the state changed,
the data resource is called friend list item.
Thank you.
Why isn't it? You can see it under local data resources.
It might be because it's so the page configuration often points to the parent page, not the child page.
Ah.
I wonder if it just thinks it doesn't have access to it. So maybe not. Oh, no.
Oh.
I don't know why it didn't come up. That was weird. Oh, I probably needed to type refresh, not friend list item.
Oh.
Okay, we could conditionally set it so that if it was our selected friend list ID that changed, but for now we'll just refresh it anytime a page property changes. Okay, let's try this. And if not, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, yeah, we put the disclaimer in.
Slogan. Okay, so 0 items. That's what we expect. So then we click 1. Okay, so it is updating the state correctly, but it's not refreshing.
The data resource.
Correct. Refresh friend list items. Let's do it. Let's add another one on initiated. I guess we're running out of time too. So if this doesn't work, then we'll just.
You're good.
Tap for now. So we'll see.
You're A-okay. It is my job to worry about time. But you're not wrong. Oh my God. Earl is going to clip one of the bird thunks and play it randomly for us in the future.
It's going to be like PTSD.
I know, right?
So
oh.
What? Oh, maybe I just didn't. Okay, slow down. I clicked it too many times. I'm just going to refresh and do that again. I was not expecting that to work. Okay, so click on this. Avocado, bleach, house, helpfuls on community, and stickers. That looks right.
Why?
And then we'll click here. I wonder if it just hadn't like cached or refreshed properly. Cactus and orchid. So it is working.
That is amazing. Yeah, let's remove all those and let's see what happens.
Okay, so let's do a hard refresh.
I'm wondering why it's taking so long to load. This should not be taking that long to load.
It might be my network too. Look at
It
that.
must have been a caching issue. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably was.
We need like some form of like fanfare, like sirens, hashtag caching issue kind of situation going on, because this is amazing. So thank you so much for walking us through further enhancements to our Wish Hub app, Ailey. Is there anything you want to close on and tell our lovely viewers?
Yeah, I would just say viewports are cool if you know how to pass data back and forth. Then it's a good tool to use. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Hey, you took my line. So where can people find you?
I am on LinkedIn. I'm also on the SNDev Slack. You can always DM me there. I will say with LinkedIn, I do better if you like send me a message with it saying like how you know me, even if we haven't met. But if you're like, hey, I saw you on You and I Builder Live, like I'd love to connect, then you have a better chance of like actually connecting. So just send a little message with it if you're going to connect with me on LinkedIn. But those are probably the two best places to find me.
Do you make any content?
Yeah, I've been doing blog posts and live streams like this. Work's been super busy the last little bit, so I haven't been nearly as active, but I'll be at Knowledge. You can find me there.
Where can people find your blog posts?
The yonsalabs.com website is where a lot of my blog posts are. I also have a personal website, aileyAnderson.com, that's got like all of my community content from all of the different sources kind of pooled into one spot. So that's also a good place to go.
Fantastic. You should go out and get Yaley.com before it's taken.
Oh my goodness, I should. What a good
That'd
idea.
be fantastic. Do it right now. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ailey. And thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat. As a reminder, we are not going to have another episode until June. The very next episode is going to be June the 13th. Funny story in Venezuela, it's not Friday the 13th. For us, it's Tuesday the 13th. And it's just like really weird. Fun trivia. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for watching and interacting with us in the chat. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Goodbye.